Hi friends, welcome to GT Coding. In this video we are going to create a number guessing game using JavaScript. So let me show you how this works. So this is the game right here, and it shows a hint over here, and it says that the number is between 1 and 100. So the computer randomly selects a number between 1 and 100, and we have to guess the number over here. So we can type any number over here and click on this guess button, and it will show whether it is the correct number or not. So let's try it. So first of all, I will just type 52 and press on guess, and it says that it is larger than 52. So we'll just type 75, and it is smaller than 75. So we will just go with, say, 65, and it's smaller than 65. We'll just go to 60. It is smaller than 60. We will go to 55. It is larger than 55. We can also use this up or lower button, or up or down arrow keys. So I'll just go to 57 and guess. It's larger than 57. 58 and 59. So that's the number. So we get this number and this message over here, and also how many tries we had to get to this number. And when we click on this play again button, it will all reset to another number. So right now it was 59, and if we type 59 over here, it is a different number, because every time it selects a random number and we have to guess it over here. So let's start building this game. First of all, we will design this user interface, and after that we will go to the logic of the game using JavaScript. So first of all, in our HTML, let's create the basic boilerplate for our HTML5. I'll just type guess my number. So that's the name of our game, and I will also link my CSS file and also my script file. So it is called app.js. So this is my JavaScript file, this is my style sheet. So let's start designing our game. So I'll just open it using live server. So there we have our HTML document, and here I will first of all create a container. So I will just type container, and in that I will have an h1, and it will say guess my number if you can. And after that we will have an h3, and we'll also have an id called hint, and in that we will just type something. So in the beginning we want the hint to be it is between 1 and 100. So that's our h3, and then we need to have an input, and we will give it an id of user input. So we have these three things over here, and then at last we will have a button, and we will give it a class called guess button, and we will just type guess. So this is our basic UI. So let's go ahead to our CSS and style this. First of all, we will do some resetting, that is set the padding to 0, margin to 0, and the box sizing to border box. Now we'll style the container. So I'll just type container, and here we will display flex and flex direction to column. Then we will have align items to center and a width of 90%. Then we will have a max width of 700 pixels. Now I'll give some styling to the body. So here we will text align everything to the center, and we will give a font family of Lato, sans serif, and a background color of 1b 1b 3a. Now we will style the h1. So here we will give it a padding of 16 pixels and a font size of 36 pixels and a color of F0FFCE. Now we will style the h3 and here we will give it a padding of 16 pixels, font size of 24 pixels and a color of white. Now we will style the input. So for the input we will give a width of 100%. So here we can see that we have a 90% width for our container. So here we will just type margin 0 auto, so that will center everything. Now for our input we will give a height of 240 pixels, then a font size of 120 pixels, font family of Roboto sans serif, font weight to bold, text align to center, border of 1 pixels solid, and a background color of F5 F6 FA. Then we will give a border radius of 32 pixels 0 pixels 0 pixels, and then we will have a box shadow and we will set it to inset so that the shadow will be inside the input box. So 0 pixels 0 pixels 10 pixels and 0 pixels. So we have styled our input, and we'll also remove this blue outline that we have over here. So for that we will just type input focus and set the outline to none. We'll also set the outline of the button to none. So I'll just type button focus, and now we will style the guess button. So I'll just type guess button and give it a height of 200 pixels, background color of 0b7a75, and then we will type align self, which means that it will cover the whole area that it can. Now we will set the font size to 120 pixels, font weight to bold, the color of the text to F5 F6 FA. Now we will set the border radius to 0 pixels 0 pixels 32 and 32 pixels, and set the border to 1 pixels solid black. Now we will style the hover for our guess button, and here we will have a box shadow of inset 0 pixels 0 pixels 20 pixels and black, and we will set the font size to 119 pixels. So we'll also give a transition over here. So transition of box shadow to 0.4 seconds and font size to 0.4 seconds. So we have the transition applied. We also have this input box. Now we will design the windscreen of our game. So we'll go to our HTML, and so here we'll create a division with a class of u1, and in that we will have an h2 with a class of winning message, and here we will type some random number for just checking it out. So that's the number, and then we will have a line break, and then we will just type tries, say 4, and then we will have a button for playing again. So we will just give it a class of play again, and here we will type play again. So we are done with our HTML. So we are going to delete this after applying styles to it, because we are going to create it dynamically using JavaScript, but for now we will keep it because we want to style it. So we'll go to our style sheet, and here we will type u1 and give it margin 0 auto and a position of absolute, top to 50%, left of 50%, and translate -50 -50. So this is just to bring it to the center. So there we have our winning screen. Now we will give it a width of 90 viewport width and height of 50 viewport height. Then we will give it a background color of F5, F6, FA. Now we will set the display to flex, align items to the center, font size of 48 pixels, flex direction to column, font weight to bold, the color of the text to 192A56. Then we will give it a border radius of 16 pixels, and we will give a border of 4 pixels solid 192A56. Then we will have a box shadow of 0 pixels, 0 pixels and 20 pixels. Then we'll give a line height of 1.5 m, and we'll also give it an animation of slide down, which we are going to create now. So here we will just type keyframes and type slide down from, so it should go from top 0 pixels to top 50%. So we have that animation running over here. Now we will style the play again button. So we will just type U1 play again, and we will give it a height of 72 pixels, font size of 32 pixels, margin top of 8 pixels. So I will just remove this animation for now. Then we'll give it a text transform of uppercase, give it a padding of 8 pixels, 32 pixels, background color of 40739E. We will set the border to none, color of the text to F5, F6, FA, and the font family to Roboto sans serif, and the font weight to bold. So that's it for the play again button. So now we will style the winning message class. So here we will have a font size of 48 pixels. Now one more thing remaining is that we need to change the font family of the hint. So here we will type hint and set the font family to Roboto. So we are done with the hint. Now we want this to be in the center. So we'll just go to our U1 class, and here we will type justify content to the center. So that's pretty much it for our basic UI for our game. Now I will go ahead to our HTML, and I'm going to delete this whole thing over here because we are going to create all these elements in JavaScript dynamically. So I'll just remove it, and there we have our design for the game. And in the next part we will see how to write the logic for our game and how to make it work. So that's it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below, and if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the notifications about the latest videos. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.